Hello everybody and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 17, Week 4. Last time, Bladefury Burgers taught us a very valuable lesson that even in a game that you are absolutely stomping, uphill is still too difficult. But they did actually
Yep.
get it in pretty short time. Sadly, two bad pieces of news since that game. One is the replay bug is even worse this time and has already spoiled the first picks. It's Pudge on one team. And even more sadly than that, somebody has convinced Wizard that Viper is an acceptable first pick. Let's see what happens this time. By the way, this is a completely unacceptable first pick. It might be one of the worst ones you can make. Maybe second to like Dragon Knight. But Viper, I don't think you can show this guy early at all. You have to pick him late. He's just so easy to get so rid of. And it's very obvious where he's going as well, so you can just make that a very favorable pause one matchup. Like if you see Viper, you can just draft up like the Drow Ranger pretty quickly, except not this time because they got banned. But...
Spam for the Lena, very nice. Ban that awful hero.
There we go. The disrespect ban. So the Drow Ranger is gone, but it can still be something like, you know...
For the benefit of the team,
pick up an Ursa, and this Viper guy is good for 5 seconds at level 6, which will not make up for the fact that he fed 17 times in lane. Pick up any guy who like right clicks a lot, any guy with a break. Pick up a Rubik. I mean, that's actually one of the most devastating counters to Viper in the game right now. He is among the worst heroes at dealing with the new and improved version of his ult. Pick up a Rubik and spit things back out at him. Pick up, I don't know, anything you want, really. Any break, any large amount of alpha physical damage. Get a Faceless Void, get a Silver Edge Buyer. And this guy is just kinda gone. Like this, for example. I mean, there's gonna be a point in this game that Viper does not care about Windrunner at all, just kind of ults her and she dies. Running the same support line back. There's gonna be a point in this game where Viper doesn't care about Windrunner at all. Just kind of ults her and she melts and that's kind of it. But until that point in the game actually happens, and after the point in that game, because it's a pretty short point in the game, Windrunner super sucks for this guy. Basically, as long as a big portion of her damage comes from her power shot. Basically, the more damage is like proportionally coming from her ult, the worse things get for you.
Radiant team pick.
Don't care that much about Sanking, that's the good news. In fact, nobody on the Bladefury Burgers really cares about Sanking that much. It's kind of an interesting pick. I guess you're just wanting to get something on Ghoul more than anything.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds.
I'm gonna have a brief hitch there because I ulted.
I want to play Sanking.
Yeah, that's kind of what I meant by that.
Like, a lot of the picks in this league have no more motivation than I'll play that hero. Let's do that. Marcy.
Well, that super sucks for Viper to play into. That's most likely a support, and that support could just kick Viper's ass. The support wins the 1v1 with Viper.
10 seconds remaining.
Also a pretty solid Marcy game all around. Sidekick, very good for Windrunner. Marcy doesn't feel all that great right now, but pretty damn good game for all things considered.
It's better than it has been. It's like 48, I think, which is good by Marcy standards.
Yeah, it is one of those heroes where pub win rate is always going to be a little bit influenced by the fact that it's easy to grief your team with it. It's easy to mess up a lot with it when you're learning it. It's probably a lot of Herald Marcys who Hazel. Okay, so one of these guys is secretly going to be a core. I wonder who it's going to be.
Mid, let's go.
It probably. I'm guessing that
actually
if
is
anything.
the double mid. Oh man, let's go, dude.
10
I mean, what
seconds
else is
remaining.
it gonna be? I mean, Viper mid and Undying 3, I
5
wouldn't bet the
seconds
house on it.
remaining.
I know Ramonolo is a fan of the, no, that's Pasky I'm thinking of, never mind. Ricky got respect banned, by the way.
Okay, so it's a PL game
For who?
on Radiant?
On Radiant? Yeah, this is an awesome looking PL game. The one bad thing in the entire world is that Viper soaks up a lot of the damage from your Q's initial hit. In every other way, it's awesome. This isn't the worst looking Spectre game either. I'm going to be you for once and I'm going to say that. I mean, you want to talk about
Yeah.
heroes that Viper kind of...
Radiant team
What?
It's decent, yeah. Not like salivating over the Spectre
Radiant
game,
team
but
banned.
If you got some way to deal with the Viper Strike,
For the benefit of the
it's
team,
kind of the only thing you're really that worried about.
I think Spec's winner
kill
in a
all these
Viper's like
guys.
42. It's like
Yikes.
really bad.
Never mind then, I guess Lincolns are harder to come by than I thought.
Well, I think if you're a good Spectre player, you can get around it. You'd just rather not pick something that doesn't have to get around it.
There you go. Problem is, if you can't get around it, the Viper just dies in like 1 second. Like, if he doesn't Viper Strike you, you just explode.
5 seconds remaining.
Banning out the Monkey King, banning out the Arc Warden. Just a little interesting. Honestly, I mean, it is a Lambert hero, so you'd have to think about that. But honestly, it's not the worst looking Arc Warden game for Radiant, either, for that matter. Looks fairly good. I don't know if Evolution Pyro plays that guy, but... yeah, there's a lot of boss ones that are good in this scenario. I mean, in fairness, we don't know what Bladefury Burgers is picking, and that might have a lot of influence over it. You know, maybe they pick up an Ursa right now or something. That changes the dynamics quite heavily. Or they pick up an Alchemist, another hero that changes the dynamics quite heavily. They're funny, they just pick Lifestealer here.
I think it's still a PL game?
Yeah, it's definitely still a PL game. I mean, having to fight in the big pool of 7-up kinda sucks. Especially considering you've got 2 different piles that go on the ground. But, like, they have no ability to make you stay in it, is the big thing. Like, you can easily just, like, you know, Alchemist drops 7-up, Viper drops Sprite, and then you fight somewhere else. You know, they can't make you stay. They have very little CC, they have the VS stun, they have the Alch stun, and they have, eventually, the Dazzle Shard, and that's it.
Simply by Gleipnir on Viper.
There you go. I mean, unironically that, though. Gleipnir, you're not born with it. And is going to do very little if PL does the modern PL strategy of not even really approaching the fight and just letting his illusions do all the work. Which he can definitely very easily do here. You can just hit Q, summon 19 illusions, and then just stay back there and not care about their fate. Like, if Alchemist and Viper drop all the stuff on the ground and they just completely shred all the PL illusions, who cares? So it'd almost be a good Troll Warlord game. You would desperately, I mean, you couldn't even really, I guess, use a Lincoln, so I guess it wouldn't be very good for Spectre either, just on that front. Because you got very easy pops in the form of Soul Rip, the VSQ, Dazzle Q. Don't even have to charge it up. And you know there's going to be a Vessel on that team. Like, for sure, this is the Vesselest game I've ever seen for Dire. Oh, look, it's a PL game.
Select your heroes.
Yeah, so
Yeah, this looks like a very free PL game.
I'm not sure how you deal with that hero in this game, but we'll see.
You just end early on the Alchemist. You end before the Ags comes out on PL. That's really your, I think that's really your option here. You end super early. It's going to be pretty tough.
It's easier said than done.
Yeah. I mean, Alchemist is one of the best heroes in the game at doing the old early finishes. He is one of the few heroes in this meta that can at least hypothetically do that. You're playing it a lot of nasty stuff, getting it done. I mean, the Pudge here. It's quite a lot of interesting things to do. You can bait out the They swapped out who the supports are playing. Did you notice that? That's interesting. Last game it was Wizard Undying and Curry Spice VS. This time the other way.
Is there something Undying with the Viper?
Could be.
And Wizard wants a range support for Elk.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It's not that much of a
Does.
surprise.
Does stand to reason. Does make you wonder a little bit why not just swap the roles.
It's like if you have a melee support in an Elk lane, he's like really miserable.
Just send Curry Spice out of the safe lane with Lambert. Go with Undying. Just goes top with Ramanolo. It's not how they've been playing it. They're gonna be missing
Don't
a beat
mess up
doing that.
the synergy, you know.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's going to be a
synergy.
question. I guess it's going to remain to be seen, but I feel like in a situation like this, you know, you just rocked and rolled on these heroes in the last game, right? You just owned on these guys.
Prepare for battle.
So it seems like maybe the cool idea would be to keep the synergy with the heroes going. Sacrifice a little bit of the strength of the lane phase. Oh, I guess in fairness, you definitely want to get... Well, I mean, I was about to say, in fairness, you're going to want Alex Lane to go well. But you're not going to get Alex Lane to go well. Why did Wizard Smoke just pop? You're not going to get Alex Lane to go all that well just on the grounds of the support. I mean, surely you're going to be throwing things into that lane, right? Like... Found Ramanolo. There's a pause 3 Marcy. This is a mid Sand-King. It's a pause 3 Marcy and she's already dead. I actually laned this quite
30 seconds.
strangely on the Lotus Orb team. They've got a Windrunner pause 5. Another hook. Sadly, Chobro was... Yeah. Chobro had absolutely no faith in the Pudge there, so he was standing as far as humanly possible, which is a bit sad. Sand-King's there, I think he just dies. Oh wait, Sand-King has E level 1, so there's no way he dies. Never mind. A bit unfortunate.
Easy left at the lane, I guess.
There you go. Ramanolo is also a power shot magnet, as it turns out. He's going to be going into this lane at fairly low health. Just slightly unfortunate. But yeah, they aren't changing up the lanes here either. Bit interesting, bit interesting. Marcy pause 3. I'll admit I'm not the biggest fan of it. It's a possibility. But it feels like your kit is just almost wasted if you're actually taking money, you know, like the whole sidekick thing, I don't know. Still, it's such an awesome Marcy game that I could actually kind of see why you would want to do that. Like, if Marcy does get, like, ballin' in this game, if she has a good lane, things go well, and this doesn't happen to her... Oh, Lambert cut the tree there, very nice. If, Marcy has a pretty baller lane and things go pretty well, or she doesn't have a baller lane and is able to find some money and turn that around, in either case, she's gonna have an awesome game. Like, it super sucks to be playing into her as this team. Like, the Viper is going to mean actually nothing if the Marcy gets farmed. It's not gonna be the best thing in the world for the Dazzle either. You know, his big gimmick as a mid is being able to be a bit slippery and prolong fights and just stay there and ramp up more and more and more and more forever as time goes on. So having the combination of, okay, Pudge likely dead here? Gonna get the revenge kill. Death has a friend in common. This is, as it usually does, is going to favor Lambert. At least it would if these creeps were in the World Force condition.
Yeah, the wave's in a really bad spot.
Yep. He does pull it out a little bit, make it a little bit better. Well, in the long run, it's certainly going to favor him because Goal is the first person to die, so... He doesn't get a fat stack, he doesn't get the XP, and Wizard does. Well, Wizard doesn't get the fat stack, VS doesn't get
Wizard
those.
gets the fat stack.
I would highly question Ice Frog's decision-making if that was a thing in this game. Sand King may be a little bit shook up from how this lane went the last game, is playing this very passively. Even when he has a lot of health, he's sticking pretty close to tower. He's not really...
Ice is doubling him in last sets again. Unfortunate.
He's playing very defensively, playing very passively, as opposed to this Alk VS lane, which is playing incredibly aggressively. Oh, good hook on the part of Pudge. Sadly, this is the part where Nick was looking at the Lotus. Ghoul is going to position the right way, so Nick can at least jump on him and get the follow-up kill. But once again, real winner in this situation is probably Alchemist, who gets to have a few moments of completely uncontested farm here. At least he didn't get an assist in the kill there. So it could have been a lot worse. And Wizards getting pung.
Only saying, give me my item.
Has been killed. Dire's structures are fortified.
Oh no, Wiz. No! I think he died
Nice
before
throwback.
he gave Lambert the item.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
You can give him his item when he gets back up, I guess.
True! I definitely did. Nothing's out of place in this inventory. And, also Sand King died while that was happening. Sand King died all the way back here, so let's take a look at that, actually. Jesus.
Oh, man.
Middle tower is under attack.
Oh my god,
Ooh,
50 HP.
almost.
Wondering they're still
Get
going
him.
for this. Going the wrong way.
3, 2, 1. Fire at the rune.
The water rune.
Fire at the rune.
Gets him.
Oh, he got him. Easy.
Absolutely not what I expected.
Auto's
And now
too
Alchemist
good.
must pause. Tack pause.
Sec. What? DoorDash.
At 1 second, suddenly became 60. There we go, back into the swing and think, I don't think we missed anything here. Oh no, we actually did. So, holy crap, we missed so much! I hit next minute, it turns out it was 10 seconds away.
Dire's middle tower is under
So far, the last hits are firmly favoring the Dire. Especially at mid. Which is kind of a one-sided contest now, to say the least. You know, what's the nicer way to say it? Sand King is at less than half of Dazzle's last hits, or Sand King is 14 last hits down. At the very least, Mono making some very large stacks here in the jungle, actually Ramonol helping out on that camp. You know, if you're PL, this is a very enchanting look here. Sand King somehow didn't get that. You know, you are salivating at that prospect. Sadly, if you're Alchemist, you're also salivating at that prospect. So you better damn well defend that. That's like 1,000,000 gold. He's been a little rough for Evolution Fire, which I guess isn't that surprising. I mean, PL does a lot of things very well against Viper, but laning isn't really on that list. Notably, Viper abstaining from taking his W. Which in this lane is definitely the right play. Wolf comes to mid and dies. Gets the hook, but dies. Nick can do nothing but listen to a Wombo Combo Perfecto as Lambert gets a few last hits here.
Bounty.
This lane phase has gone on. Nick has started to actually pull a little ahead of Lambert here. A few more last hits. Pudge gets Seared. MPL gets the Lotus. How kind. Pages would flame that. Ramonolo getting a little... just a little annoyed, but Phantom Lancer is the one who feels like he's really getting hit here. The only thing that feels like it's kind of keeping me in the game. Okay.
Absolutely.
See this happen. Holy crap, he literally 100 to 0 here. Yeah, just takes every button and dies.
Absolutely not what I expected.
Death and I have a friend in common, as
Oh,
it turns out. I wonder who's the friend that Pudge and Death have in common. If you are Death's friend and also Pudge's friend, please comment below.
I'm Death's friend in RuneScape. You know, I had that Halloween event 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's true. I can't believe they're still doing 2 different Halloween events in RuneScape to this day. Actually, I don't think they do them on the modern server anymore. I think it's exclusively OSRS that has actual, like, new Halloween events, which is a little sad if you think about it.
Maybe. I don't know.
Or maybe they
The
just do
number
the
of
same
people
on
that
both.
play RS3 they can tell you are minuscule. So
If you
it's hard
play
to tell.
If you play RS3 and you're listening to this video right now,
Don't talk to me.
shut up! Don't leave a comment. You disgust me. Nice getting an invis.
Not being talked to. Ghouls is gonna talk to his. Oh, what a toss!
Wizard's about to eat the first ult from Marcy here. Oh man,
Marcy's
Nick is
too
doing
good.
so good here.
This
Ghoul's
guy's
throwing out his
crazy.
urn. Lambert actually sent it back.
Holy.
Wow,
Oh my God.
okay. And this is kind of, to a degree, what I was talking about here for Marcy in this game. This Marcy ult in this game is awesome, but very good play there by Nick. Very, very good go of events there. So what looked like another easy kill on goal actually just turned into a double, and they didn't even have to bring Mid in to do that. He is still doing just fine. They did have to bring the 5, but to say the least, I don't think he's got anything better to do right now, so that's definitely fine. Sand King is going to be the one taking these stacks, which I guess, if you look at the net worth chart, that should not surprise you. Ice is going to come watch him do it, though. A little awkward as Auto totally ignores him. Oh, no. Oh, no,
Okay.
Ice. Okay. He doesn't have Shallow. He doesn't have Shallow, but they're too scared to actually get him. They think he does. Sounds like his whole Viper is actually going to be the one taking most of this camp. Ghouls has shown up. Ghouls has shown up, swing and a miss. This Ice definitely dodges his hook and takes the rune instead. Slightly awkward to say the least. Look at the net worth chart here. Dazzle firmly in first place, followed by Marcy a couple hundred gold later. Then you've got Alchemist, Viper, and the rest. The rest are all pretty close together here. Viper, PL, and Sand King all doing about as bad as each other reasonably. There's a bit of good news in this world. It's that both the Sand King and the PL are doing very low on the charts here. There's any bit of good news, it's that Lambert was 3rd place on an Alchemist up until he did this set of stacks here in his jungle. So, a bit behind for an Alchemist, really. I think, for the quality of his lane, you'd expect to be in 1st place at this point, but I think that goes down to, Ghouls and Marcy having that epic play. Turn things around quite a bit there. Wasted a lot of his time and a lot of his money in the end. Pudge has Tranks. It feels like it's 5 years ago.
It's 5 years ago seeing a
What,
Pudge around us.
A lot of people TP in here. Ice kind of gets the heebie-jeebies. Wow! They cannot catch this guy for anything, but yeah, that doesn't matter much. Ice is the top net worth. Okay, now he's 2nd place, actually. Pops like a tomato. You know, as opposed to the Radiant, who just kind of have the Alk stun and the VS stun. Or, the Dire that had that, rather. Radiant sure has plenty. Stuns on Marcy, stuns on Winter, stuns on the Pudge, stuns on the Sand King. Some of those are long, some of those are very short out of on Bismarck denies Med T1 for his team.
Depends on the PL if he buys an Abyssal
Radiant
Blade.
structures are
It's a
fortified.
great item.
True. I guess.
If you want 5 stuns, you gotta do what you gotta do.
True. Just simply get Gleipnir and just say it's CC. There you go.
Regeneration.
It's good for the goose, good for the gander.
I guess.
I mean, it's still probably not what you want, but hey. Speaking of what you want on PL, starting on his Zags here. Already got his Blade of Alacrity. And he has enough for a second component at this point.
Buying the agility item first. Very nice, very nice.
So it's quite likely he's going
Dragon
to...
waterproof.
it's quite likely he's going to end up getting it somewhat soon. Nobody's caring about this guy right now. I don't know if you notice. And he's kind of hanging out under this tower, just as casual as can be. No teepees.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
They either don't think they can kill him or don't think they need to.
Dire's top tower.
Alk is soaring up these net worth charts. You know, it wasn't that long ago I was talking about how it felt like he was down pretty badly. But there were like 16 stacks for him, and now he's in first place by 1,000 gold.
It's not to get a Radiance, so.
Yep. So he should be balling. I think maybe Radiant have deserved themselves a little bit by not getting rid of this guy a bit more. I feel like, you know, if you're against an Alchemist, you've got a team that knows what they're doing. I think the Bladefury Burgers, given the fact they just won a very convincing victory, you gotta give that to them. I do think perhaps it is a bit predictable that they were going to be making stacks and taking them. Maybe play was to 4-man with the Sand King in there. I mean, wait, what? Okay. 4-man, get the Sand King in there and not Epicenter the big stacks. Sand King, you're playing against an Alk. I know this is probably some kind of funny meta build, but just get Epicenter so you can just take a big stack really quickly and make him cry. You'll get like 5,000 gold that way, I promise you it's good. Now you're posturing a bit here at bot lane. 2v3 starting to brew here. I don't believe the Radiant know it's 3. Roger's on his way. Swap here is going to put Otto in a bit of an awkward position, but
Nice.
somehow I don't think Wizard is happy.
Yeah, Nick is here.
Oh, just barely whiffed on that hook. Gonna be okay killing the support, but double was possible there. They don't actually have a way to deal with this tombstone right now, though. They're just gonna have to slink away. As Evolution Pyro, or maybe Ramonolo, kindly inform us of where the mid tower is. See, PL lags progress. Yep. He is just 1,000 more gold away at this point.
Dire's
Marcy's actually also pretty close to Ags. Actually, she's basically done with it. She's gonna get it even faster than he is, and oh my god. I've not really looked at this Ags. Was it always this? I don't think so.
Don't know. I don't know anything about Marcy. I don't play this hero.
Well, this was already a very good looking Marcy game, even before I read this Ags description, but holy crap. Look at that. Reduces the cooldown of a skill they already can't really deal with by 10 seconds. And,
Double damage.
make her randomly silence things. It's very good here. We're gonna run into Otto here in the jungle. Ice with a DD. Otto can't decide which way he wants to go, and so the way he goes is hell. Pudge getting a very ambitious hook there, which is a nice way to say a hook that's never going to kill anybody. 2v4 here. Nick is not dissuaded. He's going to let Pudge take the fall.
Fairly dissuaded, yeah.
courier has been killed.
Oof. That's a rough Ags loss on the courier.
Oh yeah, that's, yeah. Yikes. Going to be another 2 minutes before he gets it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Also, loss of 2 people, so I'm sure Otto von Bismarck and Ghouls are very thrilled to hear you go, oh no, not the courier!
Tower is under attack.
2 men died for that. Accomplished very little, but the Nick did get out of that, which is actually pretty annoying. PL Ag just got revealed, so he technically beat Marcy to it as a result of it. Wizard is gonna do the same thing Nick did. He learned from the best and just TB'd the hell out. Curry Spirit is going to right-click away. So PL's out. He's got his Ags now. He's also got a tank.
Dire's middle tower
Evolution
is under
Pyro,
attack.
eat your peace, please.
We'll take that.
PL Ags is already out. Marcy Ags will be out when our courier comes back. She's working on BKB next. Gonna be a little rough. Well, this is not the greatest BKB game. The biggest thing you get rid of is the Poison
Dire's
Touch
bottom
Hex.
tower is under attack.
Which, I mean, is a pretty important thing. It's a pretty nasty skill. Doesn't really do anything to either the Elk or the Viper. Okay, it does get rid of the Acid Spray, unlike what I thought, so...
Just you what?
It's gonna be mostly doing damage with this art, though. What? Wait a minute. Okay, never mind. He just has a weird icon for Greevil's Greed. I forgot this was, like, a thing. I looked at that, I was like, wait, did he get the shard? Did he get the potion? He did not do that.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It must hurt Lambert for this to be his favorite item in the whole universe and he hasn't gotten it on this hero. Even though it literally has it
What's
as
that
one of
item?
his icons. In fact, not only is he not getting a Midas in this game, I don't think he's gotten one yet this season. I don't think he's gotten a single
What's
Midas.
that
award.
item?
Fucked up if true. Lambert's gonna cry himself to sleep.
If Lambert's not buying Midas, that's how you know it's that item. Like,
True, and the Axe finally
only-
comes out.
it's the only information I need to make my judgment on that.
Lambert's sitting at 4K higher than the second place. He's about to get his BKB. Which means a bit more on him than it does the other way around. Stops the Sand King, does a lot to the
Is
Marcy.
under attack.
Stops all their CCs except for the Pudge ult. Bad news is you still get the Pudge ult. The good news is they have absolutely no hope in hell of killing you through it. If you've got the BKB up. Azalag's also out. The evil Shadow
Radiant's
Wave.
bottom tower
Feels
is
like that
under
almost
attack.
like... It feels like this should have been in the game a long time ago, you know what I mean? It feels very fitting for Dazzle's lore and kit and everything. I mean, people are going to hear this and say, the Ags has been in the game for like 2 years, it has been a long time. Well, no it hasn't, alright? I'm not old. I swear to God, I'm not old. It was just yesterday when they put that in, alright?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah.
BKB out on Elk. Sand King still pretty behind, though. Not as behind as this guy. This guy is kind of on a new level of behind. Going for a Shiva's Guard here.
Guys, get a solar. Okay, never mind.
That would be quite ambitious. I wonder if the PL knows. Yeah, all Dazzle has to do is say zap once and the whole team shows up on him. They don't want to fight though. Everyone wants to TP to top, but nobody wants to actually do anything about it. 3v3 here on the defense. Okay, suddenly PL wants to do something about it, which is bully poor Undying out of existence. Dazzle is going to try and TP. He doesn't make it. Bit of an odd defense here. It definitely had the feeling and elements of a classic hesitation, but oh my god, the blood grenade. Hook goes out, lands true. Be surprised if it doesn't. I like the immediate follow-up shackle just to make sure nothing stupid happens. Viper continues to not have a game. PL didn't even really get all that involved with it, and his team still just cleaned that out right nice.
Dire's
Looking a little
tower
bad for
is
Dire
under
in this
attack.
game, to say the least. Alex still hasn't popped out of the jungle yet. It's gonna make all the difference in the world, but at this point it looks a little bit like Alk is gonna have the problem in this game where even though he's super balling, his entire team just dies in a half second. Because that's kind of what's happening right now. When they're not all together, when they're not 4, these guys just kind of die. And I don't mean just 4, I mean when they're not 4 and they're all right next to each other, like when they're not so close to each other, they're stepping on each other's toes, they just die. And to make that problem even worse, the other team is a pudge, so they can just get you right out of position. Marcy too, for that matter. It's a little bit awkward. So even if Alk is doing good, I don't think he 1v5s by any regard in this game. I mean, maybe. But Pudge just got a Spirit Vessel. It's looking a little tougher. Nothing else. 9-second BKB, though, is gonna... Well, I mean, the nightmare scenario is that you get vesseled and then stunned, chain stunned before you actually get the BKB out. You're gonna find Otto here, just get rid of him. Oh no. Okay, no, actually, this is the dream scenario. They totally don't notice Pudge's, They totally don't notice Pudge's BKB at all and drop an entire Sand Cake ult up on him for literally no avail. Sadly, his BKB has now run out. He now must leave. Otto got hammered there, but actually the Sand King went down as well. That 7-up was doing quite a bit there in that fight.
3 for 3. That's lucky.
3 for 4 actually, because Otto diebacked in that fight. 2,000 gold goes into the Dire's pockets here. No, Radiant also profits, most notably on the PL and the Marcy, which are the two real problem heroes in this game. Sand King does nothing and has no game. It's actually kind of fine. Like, all he really needs to do is just stun, right? Like, the Marcy and the PL need to have a game, and so far there is no shortage of game to be had by these guys. PL's actually already finished his Orchid, is going for Disperser next. Sand King Ags is now up. Didn't really see that in the last game, did we? It's kind of too decisive for a Sand King Ags to ever come out or come to play. So we never got the funny situation of, clever scan there. Well, it would have been clever on the Radiant. I think they had a way higher possibility of, the Dire had a way higher possibility of being in there, but at least somebody's thinking about it. Okay, looking for a kill here on the Sand King. Alk actually popped ult. He may be disappointed on what happens with it. Marcy BKB is finished. Not that we're going to be looking at that right now. Radiant successfully stand out the Roche here. That's a little bit more worrying. The Radiant can definitely, they want to do something about this. What happens is going to need PL, and it doesn't look like he's too interested in reacting. .3v3 or 4v5 here, perhaps? PL is coming, but he's going to take for ages to actually get here. Alk is going to take the Aegis for free. Radiant just got here way too slow. I think an element of hesitation. Oh my god, that was awkward. Element of hesitation there. PL is still not here. Still not actually willing to fight this. Which is really bad for his team.
Oh,
his team
nice.
is likely going to wipe as a result of this. Good ult on the part of Pudge. He's probably going to save this from worse happening. He's going to go down for it. But a good play on Ghouls there. Showing his keister a little bit. Lambert getting tipped.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
We're actually not going to glyph for this bot T2 here. We're going to Sand King all, but it's mostly going to get eaten by this BKB. RC's 9-second BKB is going to come out. She's going to use it to just quickly get rid of the Undying here. Alchemist is dead. Just, stuck in the Sand King. Oh no. Oh no, this is cringe. Oh no, bro, this is bad. He doesn't have BKB, I don't think. No, he does not.
Guys?
Oh god,
Where's-
what do you mean,
where's my
guys?
team?
Where's my team? They have no mana and 2 of them are dead.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I don't know, then I guess... I feel like at least somebody should throw their face in there and hope to take out like some of the anger.
I don't know. I think that just goes tits up. When PL shows up for that, it's just already over. Everybody is already either dead or about to die.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
There was nothing. The alchemist died, and I was already like, is he about to double die? And then PL walks onto frame, and it's like, oh no. That's probably the same thing he said.
Con L wombo combo perfect.
Dire's middle tower is
Can't argue with that. Cannot argue with the facts.
Dire's middle tower has
PL's pretty ballin'. Got his diffy, disperser not far. 2x Dog is gonna take out this ancient camp. Sadly finding no more stacks. He is going to get his Shiva's Guard out relatively soon, which is gonna be quite nice to have. And something that Marcy really neither wants nor should have. Marcy kind of playing like a de facto pause 2 in this game a little bit. Big Sand ult here, kind of in the middle of everybody. Very good swap as well. Making this fight look very confusing. It's, so far though, it's going well in Dire's favor. Yeah, they're gonna take 3 here for free. Marcy just kind of dropped like a fly really quickly in that fight, and it was just kind of all over after that. It's like, the Alchemist has been having a bad game, but does not mean he's not going to be able to do a lot of damage. He actually did nearly as much damage in that fight single-handedly as the entire Radiant team did on it, so. Good news is, for the Radiant, is that PL did not feel that at all. He was barely even a part of that fight, and he just left as soon as it got bad. So he's gonna be fine.
Well, it's a puzzle and shove, you know.
Also got Elven Tunic. So there's that.
You'd rather let that be mildly annoying than stay and die, and it's more than mildly annoying.
Take notes, line.
Radiant's middle tower is under
I guess.
attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
They're looking at
Puzzle ones need to be,
oh,
you know.
really good
What a
hook.
hook!
Really good swap.
Swap. Yep. There's 5 people here though. Not sure this is doable. It's doable with Pyros here.
Yep. Sand King coming in the worst possible time. Look at Lambert. Oh my God, how's he alive? He's living.
He's living. He has BKB?
Yeah, he just healed his entire HP pool. Wow.
What?
Holy crap. That's just because Ice got to live that whole fight. I had to get all of his spells off, just healed him back immediately.
Invisibility.
I didn't know it was like a fucking cheese.
3 for 1 trade there.
Radiant's bottom tower
Once again,
is under
Alk
attack.
doing almost the exact same amount of damage there, actually. This poor Sand King feels like he's kind of at his nadir right now. It feels like he's not doing anything in these fights. Even when his go is awesome, it really doesn't actually matter. Sadly, the PL lived, and he got Disperser as well. PL is actually living all these fights, and it's almost to the point where even though Radiant is arguably losing them, it doesn't really matter, because PL gets a bunch of kills and survives. Every fight he walks away with a bunch of money. And Otto walks away with a free shard. So now he has that annoying piece of crap.
This hero's not died yet, so it's very concerning.
Yeah. And you're an Alk, you know you're going to be spiking right now. This isn't like, oh my God, he almost killed himself on Tormentor. This isn't like, hallelujah, we're beating them right now moment. We're coming back. This is we got to do something now and we got to win quick. Okay. We got to win quick. Because if these guys, you know, they're balling right now, but PL is closing the gap with Alk. And Alk is almost 6-slotted. He is going to be able to pimp out some Ags. Going to be able to give one to Viper, which is going to be very nice. That Undying, actually, all of these Ags are awesome. So, you know, once he is 6-slotted, there is going to be that. But after that, you're done. Your momentum is done. You've got nothing to do but wait for PL to catch up to you. And Dazzle is not exactly Captain Scaling. Nobody has ever accused Dazzle of being the best scaling hero, and they're not going to start today. This is a very early game-oriented mid. And then on the Radiant, I mean, nobody's that great at scaling, but Marcy's at least as good as the Dazzle is at it. And eventually Windrunner's is going to turn into a core. I mean, she already has a Midas, right? This game goes on long enough, then eventually this Windrunner is going to turn into a core, and you're really going to regret living.
Yeah.
And I really don't have any answer to that. When Windrunner starts to get online, if Windrunner gets, like, top core net worth, she's going to be even more dangerous for the ALK than the PL is. Really. The long term looks very bad. So they definitely cannot get complacent with the fact that they're winning fights right now, because they're winning fights by a hair, and they're not killing the guy they need to. Sand King's got a Wind Waker queued. Honestly, working on the Basher. Has been working on it for a very long time at this point. It's been losing a lot of gold to untimely deaths. Ice. If they knew Ice was there, man, just imagine. I think Lambert probably wants to do Roche. He's going to be real mad when he realizes it's the longest possible Roche timer. It's not going to be mad when he realizes that Radiant, once again, doesn't really want anything to do with this fight. Nick getting the shit pinged out of him. Holy crap, that's the most pings one man has ever gotten. Literally everyone on Tire pings him when he does that. It's a good thing those don't do damage, or else he would have just died. Radiant are content to take this game slow, and if you think about it, really, why shouldn't they be? Dire are going to be waiting and waiting and waiting for Roche to come out. PL working on the heart. Very sad for him that heart just got the crap nerfed out of it, but it's not going to stop him from getting it. Radiant's scanning Roche. Dazzle's going to walk right into it. It's going to be slightly false advertising. Yeah, walks out literally the moment he would have gone off radar.
Last thing.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
But Radiant aren't reacting to it at all. Nobody is posturing like they're about to get into a Roche fight. What item just popped up? I didn't catch that. What's new here, Andy? I think it's Vlad's on the Windrunner. I don't think that was there before. Working on Guardian Greaves. Ags on the VS. Presumably gifted to... No, she bought that. Everyone's buying Ags?
Of course. Then always buys eggs.
True. It's just, you know... Ah, never mind.
It's Lambert Pokemon.
It's Lambert. What's he gonna do with all his money once he's done buying his Lift Blink? Eat it.
Bustle Blade.
There we go.
Now what?
Windrunner. And VS kind of find each other here. We just heard Alk stun himself somewhere because I got him selected. PL walking face first, headlong into this. He's gonna run into the wizard.
This is kind of awkward.
Yeah, to say the least. VS is very, very dead. This is a big part of why these fights have been going pretty well. So her instant loss here is a bit awkward. Oh my god, PL dodged. Epic PL dodge. Lambert. Oh no, he slipped. He slipped right outside the Roche pit, and now his friends are all gonna die. This is...
Marcy's destroying you, my friend.
This was not a Viper game before, and it isn't now. Yeah, that was a big display of how important VS is to the structure of these fights. She dies early and nothing happens, so you just immediately get owned. Without having the swap berry, without having the armor break, without having the bonus damage, the Alk feels like he's... You know, with all that stuff, Alk feels 10 feet tall. Without all of it, Alk feels 1 foot tall. You know, with VS alive, if it was Undying that they had randomly capped there, let's say, and VS was able to make it to the fight there. What? Sand King, okay. If that was the
literally
case...
not died, so.
True, yeah, makes sense. I would have put it on the Marcy, though. But, in that hypothetical situation I have now started to describe 3 times, I think they win that fight. I mean, at least I think Alchemist survives long enough to take out the Marcy and maybe route the PL, at which point things get bad. And while it's still the same problem as ever, they're still not actually going to kill the PL. They are most certainly not going to be able to get anything really done off of it. They're going to get another Aegis, which is only really going to be that useful for dying twice in a row again. They still haven't killed the PL, except that's not the reality we live in. You know, we don't live in the reality where you had wheels. We live in the reality where VS died immediately in a fight, and Alk died immediately afterwards. Did not help Dazzle's not there until after it was already over. But, I believe the kids would call that a big yikes. PL going for Bloodthorn here. Must have been Code Lion taught him to do that. I mean, at this point, PL can buy nothing but Iron Branches for the rest of the game, and he's probably in a very solid position.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
I think the moment which you could say that he has decisively eclipsed the Alchemist is soon upon us. He wants to make fake Alchemists there. Do you see that Lotus Orb? I don't know whose that was. Probably Undying's, yep.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
All the PLs are now pigs. Windrunner Aghanims is now out. I remember back in the day when Windrunner Ags was like completely required to play the hero at all. The old one where it let UAMs happen during ults, during the ult. Back when a UAM was like a mechanic that existed. If you remember that one, you're entitled to a veterans discount. Everyone is looking at the Windrunner here. I think they know they've retreated, split up. I don't know to what degree. I don't think Windrunner sees us coming at all. But I don't think they saw the Windrunner Ags coming, as only one bit of detection comes out after Windrunner is already way far away.
Unfortunate.
And she's just gonna keep splitting up this wave. This is being really annoying while the rest of her team is just free farming. PL just explode. I think PL might have just blew himself up. No, it's not on cooldown. And they're in such an awkward position having to chase the Windrunner around everywhere that PL is just getting free shots on this T3 top. He's actually gotten it half dead by the time Dire shows up. That's so sad. Can we get 50 likes? This is a much harder uphill than the last game, frankly. I mean, last game would at least have, in theory, been a much harder uphill, but nobody on the down team was like balling in the last game, nor do they have that great a wave clear. This time, the Dazzle has the Ag Shard, and you're also playing into Alk 7-up, and he's also balling, so you can't just, you know, storm the high ground quite so easily. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to surround the uphill, make sure that Alk and crew can never leave it, and farm the rest of the map, which is the traditional Dota game right now. And if you don't see the problem with that sentence, I don't know what to tell you.
That's how it is.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Alk in a really bad way here. Did great Lotus Orb coming out from DJ Curry Spice. great swap from Wizard as well is going to keep Ice in the fight for at least another second. I mean, it was great in theory anyway. Marcy is going to actually die before she can eat the cheese, and Dazzle's going to buy. Not only is Dazzle going to buy, going to get Lotus Orb clones here.
Here we go. How did Dia fall?
Well, it's time for
Not
Ramanolo to
Direful.
die. Orchid comes out on Dazzle. Another
It feels
swap.
unkillable, so actually we're not dying after all.
Yeah, there we go. Now the Viper's dead. Took a million years, but so is the Dazzle. That's dieback for him.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Alk. I didn't even know he was sick. Viper buys, One Runner buys.
Dire's bottom barracks is falling.
Lambert sees you there.
Dire's bottom barracks are under attack. Dire's bottom barracks.
Oh, DJ Curry Spice has a statue that just says Centaur. For some reason.
Dire's middle tower
And
has
Wizard
fallen.
has a Witch Doctor
Dire's
statue
middle barracks are
saying the Kool-Aid Man's famous catchphrase.
middle barracks is fallen.
You see, Wizard is a big Kool-Aid fan. He's actually sponsoring this cast. Colonel Shroud up on the Sand King.
Tower is under attack.
Alk stuns PL. PL doesn't care.
Yeah, or hard to care, truthfully. Epicenter!
0 damage epicenter.
That's a mental epicenter right there.
Not like it matters. And here's the part where they all die. Just kidding!
I don't think it is. I think this PL became unkillable many hours ago. Okay, alright.
Alright, Lambert.
Call it, Geist.
God Gamer alert! God Gamer detected!
It turns out the statue of Centaur was not very tanky after all. Statues of Centaur Warrunner should have return. That'd be funny.
Did they?
No, but it would still be funny. Brief hitch there, so
Dire's
tab
middle
down.
tower is under attack.
Apologies to any non-hitching Dota players. Man, poor Dazzle. What I'm hearing is true, poor Dazzle. Man. Wizard calls the G's, and we're going home. 1-1. I mean,
Radiant
yeah. I mean, this one is just a pretty simple one at the end of the day. First pick Viper is, like, not allowed. Like, that's banned. If I ever see that happen again, Wizard, I'm sending you an angrily worded letter. You cannot keep throwing poor Ramanolo under the bus like this. It's just not a tenable position to be. Like, you can make it so easily that your Viper has no game. You can make it so easily that you have no offline. He is one of the easiest heroes to counter in the game. And he is one of the least useful heroes if he is countered. You know, you get some matchups, right? Like, Alk into AA is pretty bad for Alk. I'm sure he has a pretty piss-poor win rate into it. But AA, like, at least has to land shots and, like, be awake, and Alk has opportunities when the AA ult is not up to do things. Viper, when he gets countered, just sucks. There's just nothing he can do. Nick does not even play Marcini. He went 16-4 in this match. I mean, that's the extent we're talking here. All this guy was food. And he actually had a pretty decent KDA for as bad of a Viper game as this is. But, like, imagine the KDA he could have had in the universe where this was, like, a game. You know, that he could play. This early Viper pick stuff, man, it's just gotta go. It is always an hidden disaster so far. 2 times we've had it. 2 times it's ended badly. Just get rid of it. Pick it later. You just gotta pick it later. And if you can't stomach picking it later. You just don't pick it. That's pretty much the long and short of that hero. But, there were some good things. I mean, everybody knows Wizard is going to rock and roll on the support role, but Fury Spirit has actually had a very good series. Actually had a very good series here. In both games, even the one where they were getting absolutely annihilated, he was showing a lot of the upside. And so far, he's mostly been hero spamming, right? But, you know, I was thinking, like, when they had the Undying and when they switched off with the VS, right? I was like, oh, there's going to be a drop here. There's going to be a noticeable drop here. It's going to be a little... No! Totally wasn't. He totally did it fine. Maybe a few things got a little bit more awkward than the VS, but it looked pretty good still. So, good series for Curry Spirit. Some very good use. You know, good game sense to go for the Lotus Orb. Good use of it here as well. I mean, I guess if there was like a way to win this game, you just have Evolution Pyre hit Lambert with his Q when he's got the Lotus Orb up and just make a bunch of fake alchemists all over the field. But good use of that. I think good Pudge play on Ghoul as well. Also should be noted there. A lot of deaths, but many situations where, you know, if he doesn't take the death, a lot of people see a lot worse. There's definitely at least one or two instances where if he lives, Marcy dies. So, big play for him here. Lots of good things to see in this game. Just don't pick this early Viper. Just stop doing this. Just cut it out of your diet. Pick it later. And the mid-dazzle, outside of like one fight where it popped off, also felt a little bit more gimmicky than actually practical. I don't know. What do you think, Randy?
Menopause 1 is not a hero.
There we go. If you or somebody you know want to learn Dota 2 at a casual or more competitive level, go to ld2l.gg to sign up today. It's too late to get into this season, but there's stand-ins needed everywhere. I've heard somebody else has actually dropped out this week, so that's very nice. There's stand-ins needed everywhere. There's queues popping all the time, all kinds of fun to be had. ld2l.gg, follow the link to the Discord server. That's where all the action is. And we'll be seeing you next time with not the Space Cowboy Tall Balls series.